Yankee to Brittany, RTM Radio Network. Saturday night, man. A whole lot of country, and our special guest, Derek Andrews, standing by over here. Let me just throw this at you. Just hang on a minute. You always do that to me. Now, silence. Just a little rundown on Mr. Andrew here. He's a country singer, songwriter, guitarist. Grew up outside of Nashville. Began singing as a child, inheriting a love of music from his father. Derek picked up his first instrument, an acoustic guitar, at the age of 12, and wrote Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and almost immediately began writing his own songs. Although Derek's roots are anchored deep in traditional country music, he grew up with an alternative rock dominating the airwaves, and I can relate to that. Now, with his rock-influenced country style, Derek Andrews hits close to home with his solid, relatable lyrics and his up-tempo alternative edge. His years working as an EMT have given him a no-quit work ethic and a unique perspective on life from which he draws something inspirational. And we have with us on the phone Mr. Andrew. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hey, y'all. How are y'all?
What's going on over there? Where are you in Georgia?
Right now I'm in Macon, Georgia. I'm a little bit south of Atlanta here.
Oh, you watch out for them police over there.
Did he say bacon?
Bacon, Georgia, yes. It's the best place on earth.
Oh, baby.
I am speaking a love language right now. I'm sure of it.
You are.
You are. She's the bacon queen of New Orleans.
That is perfect. You fit right in. Yep, so I'm down visiting the in-laws this weekend. So we're actually, believe it or not, we're going to watch Beauty and the Beast tomorrow.
You know, of course, that's not going to be the same when you watch it now.
Yeah, the spotlight's going to be on me whenever I open up with the opening tune, so they don't know what they're expecting.
Whatever you do, don't sit there and sing along out loud.
No, I'm going to stand up and sing A Cock as Big as Mine and see what they say.
There goes your family right out the door.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, then you need to get a girly voice on and go, and a hole as tight as mine.
Oh, I'm going to hell.
Yes, you are.
Come on over. It's not that bad of a place, really.
Right? Which one of you are driving is the question.
So what exactly you do? So you live in Nashville now, then?
I do not. I live in Georgia. I live in a little town called Ellijay. It's just about 60 miles north of Atlanta. It's up in the mountains there.
Okay, so you're visiting in-laws or relatives, whatever it was. You're visiting them from there?
Yeah, we're down in Macon this weekend. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're in Bacon.
So you're making bacon, is that it?
Yeah, making bacon.
Does your girlfriend know this?
No.
Does your wife?
Yes. Wait,
Right.
hold on. That's opposite. Sorry.
Tried to trip
Wife
him up.
don't know. Girlfriend does know.
Tried to trip you up, didn't work so well.
I know. Dang it.
Okay, the only important question I have for you.
No, I'm waiting on this
Oh,
one.
here we go.
Oh, it's very simple. It's very country boy. You'll love it. You got a four-wheel drive truck?
Yes.
What kind?
Ford F-150.
Bingo! We have a winner. Yes, sir. Finally, one of you country boys got enough sense to get a real truck.
Oh, yeah. You can't go with those Chevys or Dodges, man. It's got to be Ford all the way.
Definitely not a Dodge.
Lord, no.
Oh,
I drive a FX4.
Oh, nice.
See, I was
Yeah,
just
it
telling
was,
you what you want to hear, Randy.
I'm all good now. I'm wet my own draws over here. Do you
Attaboy.
take it out and get it dirty?
Absolutely. What's the point in having it if you don't?
I'm coming over there getting the red mud. That's just where I'm headed. That's just what
That's
I'm looking for.
my daughter. I'll get her in the back seat and we'll go find a mud hole and splash around through it pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, she's like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" I'm like, showing you how to live.
Doing what boys and their big toys do. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. You got to get it dirty.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the musical part of this. Now, you are influenced by rock, like who? What kind of rock, basically, group names?
You know, the big push out of the early 90s, which was, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, some of the more obscure ones like, let's see here, Dishwalla and Seven Mary 3. All those guys, and even the early Marilyn Manson stuff. I really dug that kind of music, Silverchair. And I grew up in a very traditional country household, so I never really knew music outside of George Jones and Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and, all those big names that you knew that were pretty much everywhere you turned whenever you looked to country music. And whenever I first started bleeding into some of this alternative rock, I just really, I really connected with it. I felt like, man, I could do this one day. And the more I got into it, I always played it, but I never actually formally played it in a band or in a band setting. Actually I went from country to rock then to like a Christian rock type deal. So I played Christian music for a long, long time.
So are we supposed to watch our language?
No, Lord, no.
Good, because it's too late.
I'm a paramedic.
Yeah,
I just sang A Cock as Big as Mine, so I don't think I'm safe.
Hey.
I want to ask you about the paramedic life too here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
But,
Are you from like a musical family, or is it just you?
No, my dad, he always played in bands. He was a singer. He's a phenomenal songwriter. He plays guitar. My mom knows how to play guitar. She sings. And my grandparents did. My sister, she actually recorded a song with Bobby Bare back whenever she was 7 or 8.
wow.
And so I think it's kind of in all of us, and I just kind of, I guess, took it to the next level and trying to actually make something out of it. They all play for good times and sitting around the house and my sister performed for a while now. But I'm really just trying to give it a push and see how it goes,
Now, all y'all sit around and play together at all?
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about my hair earlier, and definitely not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but my father has cancer, and so I shaved my head, kind of in memory of him, and so we haven't been able to play as much as we used to, but he's just had his last chemo treatment. He's only got a couple more radiation treatments, so hopefully that will start back really soon. So that's the goal.
Oh yeah, let's hope so. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'm dreading that day. I hate the day my mom both pass away. That's probably going to be the worst thing ever happened to me.
Yeah. We're gonna focus on the good right now and make sure he gets over this mess first. So
Yes.
How did you? Okay, so you did play a lot of rock music then?
I did. Just me and some buddies always played rock music. We never actually went out and performed it anywhere. But yeah, that's after I learned a couple country songs and learned how to change chords and learned what the progressions and stuff were. I figured out that rock music, especially back then, was only like 3 fingers. They played something called power chords, and I was like, shoot, I can do this all day long, And so I started playing all that stuff, yeah.
So how did you switch over to country? What made you take that step?
A couple years ago, a buddy of mine came to me and said, hey, let's play this song. You work on the ambulance and I work here, and, in some downtime, let's bring our guitars to work and play some music together. So I thought it sounded like a good idea. And I had taken a break from music for about 5 or 6 years, so I didn't really pick up my guitar much. I didn't play a whole lot, but whenever he offered up to play with me, I decided that I would bring my guitar. And he said, hey, let's play this song. It's a song called Cruise by a band named Florida Georgia Line. Yeah. And I was like, what in the world does that mean? And, and so when I listened to it, I was like, oh, okay, that's got a little rocky to it. I can kind of dig that. Well, then the more I started listening to the quote unquote now country or the bro country, I'm not going to say I fell in love with it, but I liked that it was more aggressive than what I was used to hearing, which was the traditional country music. So that kind of got me back into it. And now I can kind of be myself and write my own stuff and have some of that alternative feel in it, as well as the country background, and push it to a country scene, if you will.
Well, it sounds great. Is All This Time, is that the song right now that's the hot one?
That's the one that kind of paved the way for where I'm at today. It was a blend of who I wanted to be as an artist, and it went good on independent charts. I think it reached #1 on the indie charts, and we, which I never formally pushed it to radio. I never paid anybody to get it out there. But Backyard Country is 94.9 The Bull out of Atlanta. They have a segment called Backyard Country, and we got to #2 there. 100.5 out of Augusta, they pushed it to #1, and I was like their featured artist of the week. And so the song itself actually gave me the name of where I'm at, to where I can give more music, and people are actually looking forward to it now.
Do you write all of your own songs? I know you mentioned that you're a songwriter, but do you write all of your songs, or do you write them with other people?
Yeah, we co-write. All 3 of the songs on my EP were co-written with a guy named Craig Wilson and another guy named Jay Took. Craig and I write a ton of music together. We really click. It's just one of those things that when you sit down and you just kind of feed off of each other. And then Jay did a lot of the instrumentation on the EP, and he was the executive producer on the album. It was one of those things where it was going too good not to allow it to happen. So I love to co-write music, though.
And I take it you're in a band, are you?
I am. I've got a couple of guys that play with me. There's 4 of us who play. We travel around and play at different venues and stuff. I do a lot of writers' rounds, though, and a lot of acoustic stuff as well.
Well, let's get those guys. Let's at least involve them enough. What's their names?
Lead guitarist, his name is Chris Bradley. This guy's unreal. He just went and played a couple shows with Jordan Rager.
Chris Bradley?
Chris Bradley, yeah.
That's my brother.
Is it?
Isn't that weird?
How crazy is that? Female named Caroline McAllister. Ooh, she's going to kill me for messing up her name. Caroline McAllister. She plays bass. Trent Oldney, he is my drummer and also my band manager. And Seth Wooten is my other guitarist. He's my lead/rhythm guitarist. And then I play guitar whenever I decide to play.
Now, how'd you come across this bunch of rascals?
I met Trent several years ago in a different country trio that I was in, and he sat in and played bass for us a couple times. And I knew that his original gig was a drummer, and from him, it just kind of stemmed off to everybody else. Yeah. So he kind of introduced me to Chris, and then Seth came in, and then Chris's girlfriend is actually Caroline. She's the bass player, and she's kind of unreal. She's probably a better bass player than most guys I've had sit in with me. Well, yeah, she's really good. Yeah.
Nothing better than a babe thumping a bass.
Right, hitting the low notes.
Donna said she used to play bass, and we don't have a guitar around, but I'd love to see.
Oh goodness, come on! You gotta drop the low notes.
Years and years ago.
Gotta pluck the G string.
Yes.
Her G string fell off a long time ago.
The G string got stuck between my butt crack, and it's never to be seen again.
Well, so much for that guitar.
Yeah, I lost the whole thing up there.
Might want to edit that into your song.
And it's out of tune every time I fart.
Yeah, you hit a low F note. That's not even right.
Have you ever heard the foghorn on a ship?
Exactly. I think we have one of those on our ambulance.
So you guys, your songs sound great. I take it you did it in a studio, right?
We did. We recorded the mass of it at a studio called Slack Keys. It's there in Nashville. And then Jay took it to his personal studio, which is ATR, Across the River Productions, and we finished it up there and did vocals and everything. And he did all the accessory work with all the extra guitars and some of the loops and stuff he put in at his own studio there.
Yeah, the sound is great on those. It sounds really good.
Thank you. I will let them guys know for sure.
And go ahead.
So what is your next plans? Do you have another song in the pipeline?
I do. I've got, I believe we're going to go back in here soon and start recording 4 or 5 more for the next album. It's, I've been playing some of the songs, just kind of testing them out on my Facebook page for people. And the ones that they really kind of turn to are the ones that I've really chosen for this next album. So it's really going to be more about their choice than mine. And I'm going to give them what they want to hear instead of what I just choose to play.
What kind of guitar do you have?
I have a Taylor. Acoustic Electric that I play, a CE14.
Very good. Also, something else coming out?
Is that like a guitar version of a Ford?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you didn't sound very impressed, Randy.
It's four-wheel drive with a 12-inch lift in it.
Right.
What now? Are you working? You still have a job?
I do. I work full time as a paramedic. Yes.
Okay. Now let me get into that for a minute.
Okay.
What's now? What are you like an alt? Let's see. How do I want to ask you this? A paramedic? Is this for like a fire company, or is this just a paramedic, an EMT squad by itself, or?
Yeah, we're hospital based. We're owned by the hospital, but we run the county. So it's a small county in Georgia called Gordon County, and we're owned, but we're contracted through the county. So we handle all the 911 calls through the county as well. What's
the? I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, but we don't know, of course. What's the worst thing you've come across so far?
Oh man, it really depends on what you consider worse. I mean, worse to some people are not that bad, and I mean, to me, worse is dismembered bodies and stuff, and that's just, nobody should have to deal with that mess.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it must be like either children or part.
Yeah, children are one of the hardest ones, because the big thing about children is that they really can't fend for themselves. They rely on people, and sometimes we get in situations where that reliability isn't there, and there's issues, or there are unfortunate cases where people do things to children that we have to deal with on the other end that cause them harm and stuff. And so kids are really bad.
Yeah, I would think children and decapitations and things like that probably would rate right
up
there.
And people really don't understand our culture, if you will, because we cut up. We make a lot of jokes, and people think that we're insecure, or we're insensitive, or not insecure, we're insensitive or rude. But really, we cut up and we make jokes because it's a way for us to kind of self-preserve. I mean,
how could you not?
I mean, nobody deals with anything like that, and you shouldn't have to deal with anything like that. We wasn't built to deal with tragedy every single day, and so we come up with our own little ways to make light of situations whenever they're really bad and stuff. So it's just, it's one of those things that it, like I said earlier, it kind of just weighs on you after a while. 11 years doing it, it's to a point to where what else can possibly happen that we haven't already dealt with.
Geez, don't say that.
Right? Yeah, no, and that's where we're at, though. So
you still have maybe terrorist attack or God knows what yet. So
yes, have you ever been in any really dangerous situation yourself?
I have. I've been in situations where I've had guns pulled on me. I've been in, I can't tell you how many fights with patients, and I had a knife pulled on me once, and been pepper sprayed, and you name it.
Wow.
Now, you're supposedly supposed to stand down from that stuff, but how do you keep yourself from actually going over the edge and taking after some of these clowns?
Well, and that's the thing, is I go to work every day, and my partner goes to work every day, and everybody on my shift goes to work, and the only rule that I truly have is at the end of my shift, we're going home, period. Whatever that looks like, however that has to happen, I'm going back home to my family whenever I get off at 8:30 in the morning. So regardless of anything else, that's my goal. And if I get swung at, or if I get in a fight, then I guess I'm just going to have to fight, because I'm not going to sit there and take it,
Right.
So, and that's the way I look at it.
You can deal with the consequences later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd rather get fired than be drug out somewhere. So
where does your music fit into this? Do you is it something you do in your spare time, or do you do a lot of music at work? Do you ever play your music, your guitar, in the ambulance?
I don't in the ambulance, but I play quite often in the station. But we work 24 hours on and 48 hours off. So like I got off this morning at 8:30, and I won't go back until Monday. So I have Saturday and Sunday off. So usually what we'll do is I'll book shows and stuff for the days that I have off, and if not, then I'll just take a day off, or I'll swap a shift where I'll be able to get off. And I do a lot of live videos on my Facebook page, and from there I'll go in while I'm at work, and I'll try to fit in a live video, and sing 3 or 4 songs, just enough to where I can interact with the people who are there to hear me. And so the biggest thing, I guess, is being able to talk to those guys, because without them, then I might as well be singing to a wall, So right. I try to get to them as much as possible.
Well, what do you do in your free time to relax? I mean, do you are you a gardener? Do you woodworker or anything like that?
What I enjoy working outside. I like to hunt, love to fish. I don't really have any desire to garden, if you will, but I like getting out and cleaning up the yard and mowing, and just doing what normal people do, if you will.
What about all those fresh tomatoes coming out of the garden?
I'm allergic to tomatoes. I can't, I can't eat tomatoes.
Are you allergic to tomatoes as well?
I'm allergic to tomatoes, yes.
You say tomato, I say tomato. Here we go again.
Americans always sound funny when they say tomato.
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 Yes, it is. It's a mater around here.
That's exactly the way I see it. I got hillbilly blood from West Virginia, so I got that mater thing going on.
There you go. We got maters and coyotes.
We got all kinds of them nasty, noisy buggers around here.
Yes, they're everywhere.
It's kind of cool to listen to them at night because they run in a big pack and they stay pretty close around here, but sometimes it's just annoying more than it is anything.
It does get annoying, but if you, we have some close to one of our EMS stations, and when one of the ambulance leaves, you can hear them, especially at nighttime when they hit the siren and drive off, you can hear them yipping out in the woods there.
I can imagine. Singing those Derek Andrew tunes out there in the
woods. Absolutely.
Yeah, when I first got to Texas, I'm used to being in the city and living out here in the country. The first time I actually heard some coyotes, I actually thought I was back in Derby, and I actually thought that there was a load of drunk people singing.
Sounded like the neighbors.
Yeah, I did. It kind of sounded far away.
It's those bloody Brits again.
I'll shut up over there.
Yeah.
I used to live in southern Oklahoma in a little town called Ada.
That ain't far away from here.
Yeah, and I went to Denison several times for some training that I did.
Yeah, we go there quite a bit for breakfast and a number of other things.
Yeah, Denison, if you're ever up that way, we're just about 20 minutes drive away from Denison.
Yeah?
Oh, that's not bad.
No, we try to stay away from Sherman when we can. It's starting to grow over there. It's getting to be a damn big town, and I don't...
Oh, is it?
I try to avoid the cities like the plague.
It was still kind of starting to become Sherman, if you will, whenever I was living there, which I lived there back in 2000, so that's about 16 years ago.
Oh, they got big plans going on. They're going to they're rebuilding 75, and oh my God, it won't be long, another few years, and it's going to be a friggin' little hellhole over there.
If you've heard of Bells, that's where we are.
Oh yeah. Little bitty community there, huh?
Yeah, and it can stay that way as far as I'm concerned. That's why I moved out here. I lived over Gunner, which is out the other side of Sherman. And it's my mom and dad. My mom said, if my boys are going to live in Texas, I'm moving to Texas. So they moved over here, and I moved over and put a cabin up over here next to them. And,
nice.
It's as much country as I can get without, getting up in the mountains or something. But I didn't want to get in a snow zone either. So we get just enough snow. I remember what them Ohio Christmases are like.
Oh, I could only imagine.
And that's plenty for me. I don't do that snow zone thing anymore.
We don't get much here in the mountains either. We people come here thinking, oh, it's LJ and it's in the mountains, so there's going to be snow. And they'll get here and they'll walk around in their little fur boots and little legging things and their vest, and it's like 75 degrees outside. It's like you picked the wrong time to wear that stuff.
It gets 75 here and everybody turns the heat on.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Like, seriously?
Sorry, you was telling us about coming to Texas and Denison. What was you talking about?
I did training there whenever I lived in Oklahoma, whenever I lived in Ada. I used to go down and do training in Denison.
Training for EMT?
No, I worked at a bank, believe it or not, and I had to do some bank training down there.
Oh, friends with Mr. Drysdale, eh?
I guess. I don't know who they are. Yeah.
From the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, boy. Guy's got it all going on.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I hope to be playing music full time. That's my 5-year goal is to be able to come off the ambulance, at least full time. Maybe I can keep up my license and stuff and work part time, but to be an actual full time musician in 5 years.
Wow.
Are you?
That's the goal.
Obviously not living off your music yet.
No. Actually, the paramedic job and then my wife's job, they keep us afloat, and everything that I do music wise, it goes back into it, and then I can, record more songs or get more merch and duplicate CDs and T-shirts and all that stuff. So it's just kind of a supplement to the music business itself, I guess.
What's this about T-shirts?
I had some and they all sold out. My CDs sold out, my T-shirts sold out. So we're working on a new design now for the next single that's going to come out. And the song that we recently wrote is called I Ain't That Guy. Don't know. I'm really starting to lean towards that one now. So I don't know what I'm going to do about the design. I might change it around a little bit. That song's really, really weighing on me. So I really like it. So we might change the single.
We make T-shirts and stuff. Now I don't know if we can make the style that if they're fancy enough for what you're doing.
Yeah, but, if you need a someone to make your T-shirts, let us know.
I know how to get in touch with y'all.
That's what we do: sign business, T-shirts, that kind of thing. So.
Oh, cool! I did not know that though.
Yeah, I've been doing it since '74.
Signs, banners, all sorts of things.
Oh, awesome!
It's better than driving a truck anymore. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I run the road for about 20 years, and when they started wanting to know every time you had to take a dump and what time you were going to eat, and I just decided, you know what, I don't need nobody looking over my back. I'm a big boy, so.
Right. Yeah. That micromanagement stuff ain't my cup of tea.
Ain't no country boy wants to put up with that.
So do you sing on stage? In front of loads of crowds?
Yeah. We play, and I've played in places with thousands of people, and I've played in places with 5 people, but they all get the same show, it's not, I'm not going to not play. I mean, those 5 people pay just as much as the 1,000 people, so they're going to get all of me, that's all I've got, and that's what they're going to get. So it really varies on the location and on who knows who you are, and if they don't know who you are, then the people that do know who you are, how many friends they bring, so... It's just one of those things that it kind of ebbs and flows until you start making a bigger name for yourself.
What was it like the first time you stepped out in front of a really big crowd?
It was really scary. It was nervous, and that was actually back when I was playing with a Christian group. We played at a college in Tennessee called Austin Peay State University, and we played at their homecoming on their football field, and I think there was an estimated some odd 35,000 people there.
Wow!
And when you get out there, and you start looking around and realizing that all these people are waiting on you, it gets really nervous, and your hands start getting sweaty, and start thinking about everything. Your heart starts thumping pretty good, but once the music started, it was the music. So you just kind of fade into that, and you do your thing, and be done with it.
And nerves aren't always a bad thing, if you didn't want it bad enough, if you didn't want it to go so well, then, you wouldn't feel that, would you? Nerves are a good thing.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't really care. It wouldn't really matter, I don't think. If you just get out there and you're lackadaisy about it, or you take it half-heartedly, then what does it matter if you do good or if you don't do good? Just go out there and do your thing and leave.
Yeah, now see, we're just the opposite. We like it here behind the microphones, but we don't like to stand out there in front of all these people doing things.
It takes some getting used to. I acted for a while. I did some acting in some community theater, and I was in choir in high school, and so we did a lot of performances there. We did a lot of plays and stuff, so it kind of got my feet wet with getting out in front of people.
Oh, bless your heart for being able to do it.
Hey, what songs did you listen to when you were young in short trousers?
One of the first songs I ever learned was a song called Cold Fort Worth Beer by George Strait. Absolutely love that song. My dad sang it, and I learned it, and we played it over and over and over, and finally I can remember the first time Dad ever played it by himself, and I sang it, and I didn't know half the words to it, but by gosh, I gave it my all. I was maybe 5 or 6. But a lot of the George Jones stuff, I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair, Travis Tritt, I really used to love Travis Tritt stuff. Trouble, and he did a song called Where Corn Don't Grow, and those are, I just like the feel-good songs,
Yeah, that's the kind of music I like. I prefer that over anything else.
When did you learn to play guitar?
I was right at 12. I never formally took lessons, but Dad always played, so he wrote the chords down for me to learn, and the Sunday paper in Nashville was called the Tennessean, and there was a music section in there that had a featured song of the week, and so above the lyrics of that song there would be the chord letters, and so what I'd do is I'd cut those out of the paper, and I'd sit down and I'd look at my little chord chart, and I'd look at the song, and I know the song, and so I'd figure out how to play it by looking at the notes over the lyrics and then referencing back to my chord chart until I finally understood what was going on. So that's how I learned to play guitar.
So do you read music?
I do. I read music. I started learning to read music in 6th grade when I played trumpet.
I have no idea how to read it. The only thing I know is a cleft, and that's in your chin.
Exactly, right in the center. People would call mine a butt chin.
Is that because you got a big butt crack on your face?
Because I have a. It's a very strong chin. Thank you. It's not a butt crack.
I'm going to look at your. I'm going to look at your photos now. Look.
Totally a butt
Have
crack.
you seen the size of that butt crack on his face?
You should imagine the other one. You think that one's big?
Well, you ain't seen the wife's.
Oh.
I got to get my digs where I can. She'll beat me later.
Absolutely.
She will. Look at his beard going that way because the butt crack has pushed the hair that way. Look.
It does. It pushes it sideways. Because it just passed gas and it blew the hair.
You're nasty.
Hey, it's gone sideways there. Look.
Love that face.
The picture with the big lips. Your butt crack went sideways.
Because my lips were pushing it out of the way.
I'd like to apologize, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, dear.
So are you done? Have you berated him and belittled him enough now? I can ask him a couple other questions and
Yes,
we'll let him go.
sir.
I'm good. I can
You
hang.
you got anything else you'd like to add yourself? You got a Facebook page, right?
I do. It's just look for Derek Andrew with a little blue check mark by it. That's me.
And of course you have a web page.
I do. DerekAndrewMusic.com. I need to
And
update that thing.
anything? Yeah, you do. Anything else?
Because we want to see a picture of the arse. Not your back end one, the other one. On
The
your,
front
on
one?
On your face, yeah.
The front one.
Your top arse.
Got it.
your top ass?
Good Lord.
Don't marry
Christy-
British, whatever you do.
Christy,
That's like a Pandora's box. That's been.
Well, I can tell you about Pandora's box.
Oh,
It needs a good shaving. All right now, if you're done, wife.
Okay, then. Yes, where can we find you? Seeing as you keep interrupting us.
Derek Andrew Music is on Instagram, and Derek Andrew _ is on Twitter. And then obviously the DerekAndrewMusic.com is my Facebook page, is my website, and my Facebook page is just Derek Andrew.
Well, very good. That all sounds pretty easy.
Yeah, I tried to use my name.
Well, that's what it's there for. All right, a few more questions and we'll let you go.
Let's do it.
Don't want to drive you crazy. All right, 10 questions and then you're out of here. Number
Lord.
one, what is your favorite word?
Damn it.
What is your least favorite word?
Can I say it online?
Sure.
Cunt.
That's the
I hate
beauty.
that word.
That's the beauty of internet radio is you can pretty much do what you want. All right.
Okay, I like it.
Number 3, what turns you on?
Man, that's a big list. I got to narrow it down real quick.
Is your wife listening?
Yeah,
Choose carefully.
I am. That big list just went down a couple notches. No, I'm joking. Probably a good sense of humor.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. What turns you off?
Being like better than somebody,
Doing
or acting like people who act like they're better than everybody. We all put our pants on the same way.
You'd
You're
like
not
to
better
think
than me,
so. You'd like to think so, right?
right?
Number 5, what sound do you love?
A steel guitar.
What sound do you hate?
People eating.
Oh, jeez. I have the same problem with this.
Oh my gosh, it drives me up the wall.
That's why you turn the music up louder.
Yes.
What's your favorite curse word?
Damn it.
What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
A profession other than mine would I like to attempt? Professional musician.
What profession would you not like to do?
Could I say mine? No. I wouldn't want to be an underwater basket weaver.
Got to admit, I didn't see that one coming.
Oh my God, I don't even think a psychic could have saw that one coming.
And number 10, the hardest one for anybody to answer. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You done good.
All righty. Very good. That's it. I think my honus is done over here asking anything important.
Aye.
Aight.
All right.
If you have anything to add, please do.
I think I'm good. I think you guys covered the ground.
And
Well,
more. And more.
we had promised ourselves when we started taking guests, a year or two ago? Whatever it was. We had promised we would never get into any personal stuff because, we don't care if you're divorced, if you're banging 3 chicks, that kind of thing makes no difference to us. We just want to know who you are and what kind of person you are and what kind of fun you like to have, and we keep it at that because, people can go online and read cheap magazines at the kiosk or whatever, and so we stay away from that kind of stuff. So it's been a hoot. Thank you very much.
There you have it. I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Other than that, let me have another cigarette over here.
Put that faggot.
I think we're done. We got your last tune we're going to jam here all this time for Derek Andrew. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We sure do appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, and feel free to join us anytime you want.
Please surprise us with a call.
I will certainly do.
Surprise us with a call and cuss and swear so we won't know who it is.
Heck yeah.
And
I got that down.
If you can learn to speak British, please do. It would be a joy.
I'm going to learn.
All righty then. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Derek Andrews, and all this time, Yankee and the Brit.
Right girl, wrong time, but you never ever left my mind. Maybe tonight's gonna be the night. You left him, I left her. Maybe, baby, we can fix the hurt. Gotta